Hey everybody, welcome back to the Jersey Zone. Today I wanted to go over an article that came out actually last week from a site called Mayors Manor. Now this article does kind of mostly focus in on the LA Kings and what they could be doing with their jerseys next season. However, there is still a little bit of important information that could affect every single team next year as well. Before we do jump into it though and take a look at this article, if you guys are new to the channel and you like hockey jersey content, please make sure to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. So we're actually going to begin by skipping a little bit far into this article here just to dig out what might be affecting every single team first. So they say that due to supply chain limitations and production ramp-up times related to starting this new initiative, we might not see any third jerseys next season when Fanatics does take over as the official jersey manufacturer. It might just be the home and aways. Now, I've seen a couple of people get a little bit upset about this, but honestly, it's really not that big of a deal because it's happened before. When Reebok switched over to the Reebok Edge line, they only had the home and aways, and guess what? Same thing when Reebok switched over to Adidas. Adidas only had the home and aways for that first season. Well, they also had like the specialty games like the Toronto Aretinas jersey, so they had those specialty games and the home and aways, but really it's not that uncommon when a new manufacturer takes over that they only do the home and away jerseys. And like, would it make sense for them to start making these jerseys a little bit earlier so we could get those third jerseys? Sure, but like, it's not a Fanatic specific thing. Like I said, it's happened in the past, so I'm disappointed with this news, but I'm not exactly surprised. The only reason that I find this a little bit strange is because supposedly these jerseys are supposed to be kind of close to the Adidas jerseys for the first few seasons, and the on-ice product specifically is being made out of the same warehouse that the Adidas on-ice jerseys are being made from, so you would think that would make it a little bit easier for them to roll these jerseys out, but what do I know, right? Like, maybe they are going to be a lot different from the Adidas jerseys, and maybe there is something in their contract that stops them from making a jersey before a certain date. I really don't know. I'm kind of just thinking out loud there. In the end, if we don't get any third jerseys next season, I don't think people should say, like, this is why Fanatics sucks. There are a lot of reasons why Fanatics is a terrible company and why I do not like them, but with this reason here, like, if we don't get any thirds, yeah, it'll be disappointing, but like I said, it's happened before, so it's not that big of a deal, at least to myself. But like I mentioned, that was just a small part of the article. It mainly focused on the LA Kings and their jerseys for next season. Now, it appears from basically everything that I've heard, the Kings changing their jerseys next year is almost a sure thing. And I actually have already made a video about this, talking about what the Kings could do for their jerseys next season and what I would like them to see. So if you guys have missed that, I'll leave it in the cards up above there. But this article here gives us a little bit more like specific answers. I was kind of just throwing out random guesses in that video, and like I said, what I would like to see. So this here kind of focuses in and gives us like more of a specific look on what we could be expecting. Right now though, it really seems like the Kings are going to be going back to their 90s look for their new jerseys, at least in terms of the logo. So basically their current alternate jersey is most likely going to become the away jersey. Now, speaking of that current alternate jersey, apparently before they made it, they were actually testing out another version which would have been a full-on silver jersey, and oh my god, would I have loved that. Now, the reason that they didn't go with it is because apparently it didn't really test too well on TV, which really sucks a lot because you can kind of compare it to the Vegas Golden Knights gold jerseys. I really feel like those jerseys don't actually look that good on TV, but man, in person, I think they are absolutely gorgeous. Now, I think I'm in the minority on that one, to be honest. I don't think too many people really love that jersey, but I do. I think it's great. So a full-on silver jersey, I would have been all over. I would have been just in love with that thing. So it's a little bit disappointing to read that. I was kind of sad to read that, and I'm wondering how bad it did actually look on TV for them to go in a different direction, but whatever, it is what it is. On the 20th of December, the Kings were seen testing out a couple of new styles of customization, at least in terms of the number kit. Now, these were only shown on their current home and away jerseys, not the alternate, so I'm uncertain if they would only use these numbers if they kept their current home and away set, or maybe they just didn't want to test it out on their alternate jerseys. I'm really not quite too sure, but I wanted to go ahead and take a look at these anyways. Our first picture shows silver numbers with a white then black outline. I'm going to be honest, I'm not really a huge fan of this one because I really feel like those silver numbers get lost in the white of the jersey. I think this one will look a little bit better on a black jersey or a home jersey and not the away. Our next one is just basically black numbers with a white and then black outline. This one I think does look a little bit better. And then our third picture here does actually show those silver numbers on the black jersey. And yeah, I think it looks a lot better on this black jersey as opposed to the white one. I'm fine with that white number kit as well. Then they did kind of show a couple of more mock-ups, at least for a number kit. This one here, I don't mind. I think it's okay. This one, like I said, I think that one is probably one of the better ones. I actually really like this one here. I think that gray, it's not really like one of the light silvers. It is a little bit more of a darker gray, so I think that would be fine on a white jersey. This black jersey, I think, just white numbers. It's a little bit basic, but definitely not too bad. I like the black and then kind of like that silver outline, so I think that would be pretty good. Although I don't love the font of any of these numbers. They feel a little bit basic, at least compared to the current Kings home and away numbers. Those are like really big numbers. They're kind of bold and in your face. I like that a lot. The current alternate numbers are, skinnier, so I don't love them as much. I think they are fine though. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but with these numbers here, the ones that they were testing out, they do feel really generic. So yeah, I'm hoping that maybe they test out a couple of more and don't go with any of these because yeah, not that I hate them, but I just don't love them. Now, since Mayors Manor does feel like the Kings are going to be using their third jersey as the away, they did actually make a mock-up of a home version for their alternate jersey, and this is it. And I'll be honest, I don't love it. I don't really particularly hate it, but it does basically have the same style of striping as their current home jersey, just without the piping down the sleeve there. Now, like I talked about, I did actually make a video previously talking about what the Kings could do for their home and away setup, and I did make a black version of their current alternate jersey, and I'll throw it up here. I'll be honest, I'm really bad at Photoshop, as you guys can tell, so, comparing these two jerseys, I kind of like mine a little bit more, even though, like I said, I'm really bad at Photoshop. So I think looking at it Photoshop-wise, it doesn't really look that great. But overall, I would probably change the collar of my jersey. I don't like the fact that it just goes white all the way around there. I think that's a little bit too much. So I would probably take the collar from their mock-up here and put it on mine. And I think I would really like that jersey quite a bit. Maybe do something else in the shoulders. The shoulders feel slightly bland. But yeah, I personally would pick mine over theirs. But, let me know what you guys think. Maybe you disagree with me there, which would be completely okay. It's not like you're gonna hurt my feelings if you say you don't like mine. It's not like I really put that much effort into it. Well, I guess I kind of did because, I'm not very good at Photoshop, but anybody who is somewhat decent at Photoshop could do this in like 2 minutes and do a much better job at it. So yeah, it's not like I really made anything new. It was just, switching the white with the black. So it was pretty easy, but yeah, I still think I like mine just a little bit more. And I think that's also due to the fact that it would match their away jersey a little bit closer than their version does. Lastly, they did also talk about the Kings going back to their purple and gold color scheme. However, they kind of made it seem like the Kings don't really want to do that, at least not for their full-time jerseys. Even though the reverse retros were both extremely popular, I know I love the 1.0 and the 2.0 as well, and there is apparently a subsection within the organization that is also pushing for it. Mayors Manor believes that it will be saved for a third jersey. And I mean, I would be like kind of okay with that. I would much prefer it to be the home and away colors because I love the Kings in that color scheme. I think they look so good, but if they use it as a third, at least they would be using it. Like right now, they don't really use it, right? Except for the reverse retros. They haven't used it in a very long time. So yeah, if they used it just for a third jersey, I guess I would be somewhat happy. But of course, like we talked about earlier, that might not be for a couple of years. They did also mention though that the Kings wouldn't be able to use any of the reverse retro designs because they were made under Adidas, but I don't really fully get that because these jerseys are pretty much just color swap jerseys of previous jerseys, right? Like that is the whole reverse retro thing. Now, I guess technically the collar is a lot different, so I'm wondering if Fanatics maybe made a slight change to any of the reverse retros that they could get away with it. Like maybe they changed the collar up a little bit, whether that is an entire new design in the collar or they just switched the yellow and the white, something like that. I'm really not quite too sure, but I would assume that they could make a very small change and get away with it fine. I at least hope that's the case because it really would be a tragedy for both of these reverse retros to be only used for one season each. They are just gorgeous jerseys. They deserve to be worn more often than that. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the article. I kind of wanted just to get this one out, even though I'm like over a week late on this one. I still wanted to talk about it here. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you disappointed that Fanatics is probably not going to do any third jerseys next season? And what would you like to see from the LA Kings for their jerseys next year? Do you want to see, that alternate jersey and a black version of that? Or do you want to see purple and gold come back? I'd love to hear what you guys think. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on all of my social medias. But that is going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.